Hey, this is in response to Decentralize Thought. I saw his interview with BCH Boys. Thank you for doing that. At least it was a conversation. I don't know if this is deemed not important. This whole hash war, dividing the community. This whole thing is bizarre. So crazy. Anyways, I love your stuff, Mr. Thought, but I thought you were just responding to questions instead of answering them. The number one question is, if the miners don't choose, then who does? If we don't have the answer, if ABC doesn't have the answer to that, it's chaos, it's anarchy, nothing makes sense. And the fact that I literally didn't really have a dog in this fight, but in learning and trying to just comprehend what's going on with this DSV, non-reversible, it is what it is, whatnot, but the community started dividing up. And so, man, looking into it, and no answers are available. Even Roger Ver, I can't believe it. I love Roger Ver. Hey, what? You're a passionate dude. What the hell? Persistent, the whole 9 yards. You don't have a half hour just to tell us on all the cool features of DSV. The problem with the ABC, now that I'm just pissed off, is, are you saying it's not even that important? That none of you could take a half hours and tell us what the awesome, cool features of this thing that we're changing the protocol again. We want 1 out of 1,000 coins. That is just person-to-person money. I mean, is that too much to ask? That's my problem. Is people not being upfront and say the pros and cons. Roger, why can't you just be passionate like you always are and say, this is why we're doing this and this is why it's going to be a good thing? As far as Picard and Jonathan, literally, they're saying that the miners don't choose. Without that, you've broken the law of economics. No one is going to be more interested in Bitcoin Cash's success than people who spent their hundreds of millions of dollars on mining equipment, because your interests are aligned with theirs. Like, well, the users count and stuff. Yeah, the users count because the economics from the miners, there's nothing more they want than a happy user's experience. That is the incentives. That's the economic part. The other thing is, this thing's not going to go global if it's changing. Mr. Thought, and as far as, hey, you don't hear me speak much of the white paper when I'm talking about it, because it's awesome. It's just to tell you the design and what is to be expected from it. The Satoshi white paper could say, rule number 72, don't hack the system. That doesn't actually make it a reality. It's just trying to tell you how it works and how things will play out with the economic incentives as they are. You can't argue the opposite. You can't hack it because it says not to. That's fantasy world. That's not real. That's a joke. And we're going out of the clown's VC money, right? There's going to be consolidation, no matter what. AOL and Yahoo and all these other, it all consolidates into one or two. I mean, you have a 2 and a 3. Coca-Cola has Pepsi. Other than Starbucks. Starbucks in the United States, I don't even know what number 2 is. That's a fascinating, anyways, off subject. And as far as SegWit being Bitcoin, you got to be kidding me. There's not a company in the world that's publicly traded anyway that your report card is not your market share. You don't give up market share. You don't give up your dominant position because you you don't have a plan to take down Bitcoin in its original form, 1 or 2 cents, the biggest network. No one could ever touch your money. You can transfer it to China. Let me just tell you, only the virus, and I call it a virus because it destroyed the market share of Bitcoin that became SegWit through SegWit, and then the elite program, the RBF. Let's be honest. Blockstream is the worst company in the world. I would love to be in those minutes or the boardroom. It's public trade, Hey, we lost another 10% market share. Good. It just, and I understand that these people, your software and developers and this other stuff, but the fact that the miners aren't going to split the community over some bullshit, I'll tell you right now, because they care about the value. The weakest point, the bottleneck, is that the miners proxy their vote to the dev teams, or in that case it was core, and then exercise it. And Craig Wright came out over a year ago and said miners got to freaking do their job, stand up, The first time he really spoke out, majorly publicly. And he was right. He was dead right. That's why a lot of the things he says, I agree with. Because from the economical point of view, they're dead on. There is no adoption of protocol. If SV wipes the floor, you're going to see a vacuum of all the altcoins. Because you know what else is happening? The protocol level could do a lot more than you think. Why can't ABC wait 3 months? They don't care about splitting the community. Roger doesn't. Why? Just explain why. See, they don't even think about the PR. They think about the users. They think about the adoption. But the good thing about this war is hopefully it opens a lot of eyes. I think it will. Hash wars, that's freaking awesome. I haven't seen that before. I am so stoked. Not stoked that it was split the community. Yes, it's good because you get to purge out another wave of less desirables. I'm saying when push comes to shove, where are they going to land? You only get a few times in life to really put up or shut up. And it's not about being wrong either. Wrong is okay, but have discord, say your things, and agree to disagree. But there's something about you're not being truthful, how you just want to go hide in the corner, right? That's just human nature, and then answer questions with bullshit. Absolute bullshit. If the miners don't choose, who does? I don't understand the question. You can sit there and talk for fun or whatever, but dude, 6 months from now, don't think about doing business with a person like that. My opinion. This is all satire, joke, whatever. Don't listen to it. But anyways, this will be great. Hand cash. Holy smokes. Keyport TV. The new YouTube. These are major developments. And tokenization with I forget the name of their thing. Tokenized. I'm sorry. Calvin, he wanted to push this thing forward. He's making history, man. I don't care what anyone says. And he put up 5 million pounds, 6 million USD-ish. And dude, they did it, man. They made it. I didn't even think about just making it just like the smart contracts, but making it simple. And then, holy smokes, hand cash. I could give that to my grandma. And it's part of the in-chain family, so it's the most secure thing in the world. And SentB is like the freaking slick, awesome. And you take your hand cash, which is like Jerry French. You want to send somebody Jerry French, and then you just send the money. No QR, none of that bull stuff. Oh, you want to get on hand cash? Keyport TV for YouTube, commercial free. You just use your wallet to log in. I log into every Mac, iPad, iPhone, anything. You get your Android phone. Anyways, going back to decentralized thoughts, I give a flying toot about the scaling debate thing right now, even though it's a freaking insult, not to give minors the choice. If it's not important, the default setting, the hard cap, why is it an issue? You know, that's insulting. You know, these guys spend $100 million on mining equipment, and they have child protection. They have to dive into each one and readjust it. Not okay. Not okay. SegWit was the bottleneck. We saw it, and now there's nothing more centralized than ABC, right? A dev team. Nothing. Look at, they're trying to have hash power. They don't want to listen. You know, we have better ideas than you, yet we won't say them. We won't talk to anyone. Not even, what's Roger? What are you doing, dude? Just come out there. You're not doing it for nothing, right? I mean, gosh, just convey it so we can be excited with you. You know, otherwise we want the world to know this thing is shut down for business. The development teams are there just to fix bugs. We don't want no bugs. You know, there's always bugs in software. Armory said, dude, 10 years, you're still pulling out ones. You want to add more stuff to the outside world? You can reassure them with pinky promises. You give up that legacy. SegWit, no matter what Mr. Thought thinks, doesn't matter. When they hybrided to SegWit, it's starting over. Same with this. That's the problem with this DSP. One, it's precedent. Are we just going to change? That's the starting of corruption. Okay, so if we want this very cool thing, this very cool app to be built in there, we could build it by the rules, or we could take ABC out to dinner, wine and dine him, and he could say, well, I'm overpacked. If I had more manpower, maybe I could do that. It's doable. Oh, here's some funding. You know, just give them, and just corruption starts all over again because of the one bottleneck, because we're not following economic principles. Anyways, good news is either way, ABC wins. We're talking about 10x, 100x. SV wins. You're talking 1000x, 1000x, $1 million a coin. That's you know, that's my opinion. It's gonna be sucking, you know. And I understand everybody crying and whining and hating Kirk, right? Because basically they've been put on notice. You know, ICOs are a joke. They bring no value. You want to play by the rules? Just take your cool stuff and put it on layer 2. We want layer 1 nice and secure, wrapped up, you know, and then everything goes on layer 2. You know, the apps go on it, following the rules, and then the world can know that we have that security layer. A lot of it is just the way it's perceived by the world. That matters. Branding matters. Everything matters, whether you like it or not. You can sit there all day and go, everybody's wrong. Google's not as good as Yahoo. That's a fact. But really, we're just playing by different rules. We're saying your program's good if it sells. If not, then just go be with your friends and tell each other how good it is. Anyways, good job, Bitcoin. SV, good job. Oh, man, good job, Craig. Good job, Mr. Wynn. Jimmy, the CEO of InChain, is really just saved the day. Calvin, they all have. Ryan Charles has been standing up for what he thinks. What more can you ask? And I mean, I personally agree. BCH boys, what a blessing you guys have been. Holy smoke. I watched it, like you said, today. And I don't know shit. I'm not saying I do. I just know if someone's not willing to talk and just, you can tell when they're just being jerks. We just need to get rid of the jerks. You know, that's why I'm not inclusive. Like, anyone who's not a jerk, I'm kind of inclusive, but who has time for that? No one, you know. Anyways, erase that last part. Good job. Enjoy the hash wars. It's part of history.